Yo, what's good, y'all? So this is how I caught nearly 100 points trading the NASDAQ futures today. So let's get right into the charts and see the action. So first thing I want to point out is we're on a 4-hour chart on the NASDAQ. This is my favorite higher time frame chart to look at to find potential discount and premium arrays to potentially use to give me a buys for the day. In this case, last Friday, you see we formed this 4-hour buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency fair value gap, which the market has now traded into coming into this New York Open session today, this morning. So for this reason, I was bullish going into this day. I wanted to see prices go higher. However, I needed to see some confirmation of some things in order to validate a bullish bias. And in order to actually enter into a long trade. So if we go to the 15-minute chart, this is kind of what the market looked like going into, like I said, that New York opening session. So you can see we have this higher time frame 4-hour BISI that the market is trading into. We had been selling off all night and we formed a bunch of liquidity here, right? We had London highs formed here in the form of buy side liquidity. So that was something I was watching. And we also had Asia highs here in the form of buy side liquidity as well. So both of those liquidity levels I was potentially watching as targets if I did find a long opportunity. So kind of fast forwarding this overnight, you could see the market was kind of trading sideways here once we did get into that New York Open time around 8:30 a.m. And you can see here the market did sweep this low here. Right, we swept this low from 4:45 a.m., which was sell side liquidity. And when I saw that now, I was potentially, because I didn't see this in real time, but when I woke up and I saw that, I was now waiting for the market to now close above these series of down close candles that swept this low and form a change in state of delivery. If we could close above here on this 15-minute chart, then I would potentially be watching this for a retest to play longer, targeting these pools of liquidity up here. So the market did come down. We swept this low. And then, like I said, a close above here validates that as a change of state of delivery. So that didn't really come in the pre-market session. But once the market did open, we made a push above. And then see here, we did get that close here, right? So this was on the 9:30 a.m. New York opening candle. So once we got this close here, I was now waiting for the retest of this change in state of delivery / order block, right? Entering here with my stop loss below here, targeting these liquidity pools here and here, right? So pretty good risk to reward there, in my opinion. Again, this is a 15-minute time frame execution, so I won't get this trade opportunity as much. So I'm okay with it being not quite a 2-to-1 because this should have a higher win rate, in my opinion. So that being said, waiting now for that retest. We can drop to the lower time frame and I can show you where I entered and how I entered on this. Like I said, I entered on the retest of that change in state. So the market did come down here. And then I entered, let me see here, 5 contracts. Like I said, stop loss at the lows. This was I was taking the minis. This is I took the micros. These are minis. So same thesis, same analysis, just different contracts I took. So I took the micros, and then essentially the market then really just started going higher from this point forward. And it was a pretty smooth, actually my target was here initially. It was a pretty smooth trade. And what I want to point out is at 10 a.m. we did have news come out. So at 10 a.m. if you look on the I'll pull it up here. If you look on the economic calendar, you see we had news coming out at 10 a.m. That is important to note because one thing I have noticed in my time in the market is that price precedes news. So generally, if there is an existing draw on liquidity, in this case, to me, this was the draw on liquidity, and there's news coming out, I don't necessarily have to fear the volatility of the news if I'm playing in the right direction of the draw on liquidity and the right if I have the right bias, essentially, right? So once we got up here above this high, I moved my stop to break even. And then again, going into 10 a.m., we had news. So I had my stop at break even. So if this did come back down, it would have stopped me out at break even. No big deal. Look for a reentry. But you can see at 10 a.m., we get this influx of volatility, and that sends us into our targets up here at these buy side liquidity London and Asia session highs. So that was a very smooth trade. I mean, 100 points in 9 minutes, 9:51 till 10 o'clock, 10:01. That's pretty great. And one thing I want to point out is that if we look on the 15-minute, yes, we retested that CISD, but this is kind of what I would consider like an immediate rebalance, right? An immediate retest. When that next candle comes down, we retest it and then we go, right? But we hadn't quite yet taken out this Asia session high yet. So that's something I was noting as well. So one thing I knew would be valid would be another retest on this, because number one, we hadn't really come back down here on a new candle. We'd only immediately rebalanced on the immediate 15-minute, the succeeding, the immediately following 15-minute candle after we closed above. We came back, retested it, and then went. But we still didn't quite take out this high. So to me, this is now smooth highs up here. We took out this initial one, but this was still smooth highs. The Asia highs, as well as this high that we just formed, that's smooth highs that I think the market still wants to attack. So you can see the market does come back, and we retest it once again here, right? So you see we retest this 15-minute change of state. This is the true retest, right? If you missed this one, this 15-minute retest was here, and I'll show you on the 1 minute what it looked like. We come back down, smooth retest. You can see the candle bodies respecting this level immediately. I mean, perfectly. I mean, look at the low of this candle at 1035. It's 10, what is it? 16, what is the low? It's 1675, and this price 1675. I mean, that is so algorithmic. And then you see the market spools. This is in that 1020 to 1040 macro. The market spools right into our liquidity levels, taking that Asia session high. So you could have really entered this again. I didn't enter this again because, I mean, honestly, I should have. Obviously, 2020 hindsight, but I was content with what I made initially, catching 100 points nearly on this initial move in 9 minutes. I mean, I'm not going to be greedy and get back in here. Although this thesis was still valid, I wasn't necessarily looking to take it. And honestly, I think the market could continue to expand and possibly even go to Friday's highs as well. But we do have FOMC this week, so you have to be kind of cautious when you have big economic events upcoming in the week. So it is Monday. Take what you can and move on. I'll take it. I'm never going to complain about 100 points in 9 minutes. So anyways, that was the trade I took today. Very straightforward. Same analysis every single time. I'm literally doing the same thing every single video, looking for a higher time frame, discount a premium array like a 4-hour BISI or SIBI, waiting for a sweep of liquidity on the lower time frame, 15-minute, and then waiting for a change of state of delivery / order block, and then playing the retest of that, targeting opposing liquidity. Boom, bread and butter. You do that 10 times a month. You can be financially free. You never have to work a job again. That alone will retire you 10 times a month. So that's kind of my mentality. That's all I'm really looking for in the market. So anyways, that's all I got for y'all in this one. I will see y'all in the next one.